Okay. All right. Let's take a few notes today. Let's go through kind of what your homework's going to be. Now, the homework was based on simple interest loans, so let's write that down. So if you haven't been here in a while, we've been talking about simple interest loans and purchasing cars. So the last assignment we had was purchasing a new car and getting all the specs correctly, and maybe even trading in and getting a rebate or getting price off of the car that you're purchasing, right? Well, now we start talking about what happens when you need to get a loan. So we did a simple interest loan. This simple interest loan could be for anything. It doesn't have to be for a car. I just used cars the other day because that's the section that we're in. It can be used for anything. So I'm going to make up an example today. Let's say you're going to buy
skid loader.
Yeah, let's go with a skid loader. So let's go with that. Skid loader. Okay, all right, so let's say you're going to buy a skid loader, right? Some type of equipment. And the idea is that the price is really expensive. Let's say, you're going to buy severely used. Yeah, let's go $15,000 skid loader. That'd be probably an entry price for the lowest model that they have if you're buying new.
That's with tires.
Yep.
25 with tracks used.
Yep.
That's how much they are. 25,000 with tracks used.
Yeah. I mean, if you go with a Kubota, you can, those are like the top of the line brands, and you get, a certain, like they have like an M95 version. It's like $100,000 for one of those. For a skid loader.
It's like, why would you spend that on a skid loader when you could get like a tractor with a bucket?
Yeah,
or
that's what I thought.
A thing for the same price that can do even more work, and like you can get more attachments for.
Yeah.
Like
So,
what?
all right, so you're gonna buy a skid loader. Let's say the interest rate, let's go 3% interest today. I don't think we did a 3% the other day. I think we did like 3.5 or 5. So 3% interest. So you got pretty good credit. Right now I was kind of looking at loans over the weekend, kind of seeing kind of what loans you could get on vehicles or just, and it looked like a lot of companies, just not even around here, but local states, the lowest interest rates currently right now around the states, even if you have really good credit score, was about 4%. So they're not going 3% right now. I thought we were supposed to have a 0% interest rate. That's on like brand new items. But if you're gonna buy used or anything like that, it's 4% or higher.
That would be $450.
Yeah, so we're gonna be multiplying this, and that's quite a bit, 3% on that. Now we got to figure out how many years we're gonna take out the loan for. Let's say the loan we're gonna take out, we're gonna go a 5-year loan. 5-year. Okay. Remember, loans, they typically don't go past 6 years. California has some different rules. There were some rules out in California. You can go up to 12 years on a loan.
So then, if it's 12
would you
years, just divide that by 5 then, what you get? So like, I got $450.
No. So just wait. So here's what you do. You take the $15,000. So this is the math you're gonna do. You're gonna take 15,000. So that's your principal, right? That's the amount you're borrowing. Mm-hmm. You're gonna take that times the rate. Now the rate that you're multiplying by is 0.03. That's the rate. And then you're gonna take it times the time, which is 5 years. Okay, now what this is gonna do for you. This is gonna tell you the total interest that you're building over the 5 years. I don't know why.
$2,250.
Okay, good, hold on. So the amount total that you're building is $2,050, even?
Yeah.
250.
2,250.
Thank you. Okay, that's a lot. Now, what that number is, that's the extra you're paying for this loan. You're paying the $15,000 for the item, but just to take out the loan today from the bank, it'll cost you an extra $2,200. They're not going to make you pay it today. They make you pay it over the life of the loan. They stretch it out.
So when they stretch it out and they get every little cent.
Yep. And so if you pay it off early, you wouldn't have to pay all $2,250 for it. So here's what you're going to pay total. So that's the amount of interest. That's the extra payment. So total, $15,000 skid loader plus $2,250.
$17,250.
Yep. So $17,250. So this is what you're going to pay over 5 years to take out that loan. Maybe that's worth it. Maybe you're like, it's only $2,000. I'll make that back in a few months, just doing some work with it. I'll do some snow removal and stuff.
Put in the account for gas.
Yeah.
And like that. So then you're technically spending more.
Oh yeah. Now, here's the idea. $17,250. Here's how you figure out what your monthly payments are. That was the total you paid. That was great. That's the first thing you have to find in almost every problem. You have to, figure out what you're paying extra by doing the 3% in the 5 years or whatever the number of years are. Then you have to figure out the monthly payments now. So you take this number, you divide by how many years you're going. We're going 5 years. And then you're going to divide by 12 because there's 12 months in a year. And this will tell me what my monthly payments are every single time for my item. $287.50.
Someone joined.
I think it's just an email. Just an email. So that is your monthly payment. That's your monthly payment. Paying $287. You're like, oh, that ain't bad. Maybe that's your car that you're taking out a loan for. Maybe not a skid loader. Same thing. But now here's the thing. What we talked about on Friday. And this is the whole point of Friday. If you were to have bad credit, or maybe you don't have any credit at all, maybe you're too young and you have never established any reputation with the banks yet, your interest could be significantly higher. And that's where it gets a little dicey. The higher the interest rate, the more you pay. The higher the monthly payment is. Even though it's the same vehicle, it's the same number of years, by just having a higher interest rate, you'd pay more through the vehicle, a lot more. And that's what we talked about on Friday, was what happens if that was a 6% interest loan? Well then, your payments go up significantly, like a lot. In fact, I think we did the example and it went up, what did it go up by? When we changed the interest rate by a simple few percent, we went from like 3 to roughly 5, and it jumped, what, $100 a month or something like that? What was the number? What did we find on Friday? Well, we'll do one. How about we just do one?
Was it 5 years?
I think it was 5 years. I think we did 5 years or something like that.
It was like 264.38.
Yeah, and then before it was like 100 or something. So it jumped quite a bit. So let's actually do the example. So let's say you have really bad credit.
So it'd be 30, so if you jumped it up to 5%, it'd be 3,750.
Okay, so let's go with the 5%, just like you're saying. So 5%, so you didn't have 3 anymore, you have 5%. So the only difference would be this number right here. 5%, it'd be 0.05. Now if there was like 5.5%, 5.75, it'd be 0.0575, right? Because you always have to move the decimal over 2 spots. So what was this number again, Graph? What did you say?
$3,750.
Okay, $3,750. We're gonna add that in, $3,750. So this ended up being $18,750. Quite a bit more, right? We said 17, now it's almost up to 19. And now we're taking an $18,750 skid loader now, because that's what you're paying over 5 years. We have to divide it. And our payments before were $287.50, right? This is before. That was before, and that was 3% interest.
That was 200.
So take 18,750 divided by 5, divided by 12. What do we get?
18,750 divided by 5.
Divided by 12. Yeah.
$312.50.
50 cents. Okay, we jumped. And you're like, that ain't bad. More, it's not even $100 more. It's like, 20, 30
But
bucks.
then you have to think about the hours you put on it.
Yeah. Just think about this. You're paying, what is that, about 30 bucks more, roughly? About 30 bucks more a month for 5 years. 30 bucks more a month. That's a lot. Look at this. It was $3,750. Before it was $2,250. You're paying an extra $1,500 for the skid loader.
But then you don't.
It's the same skid loader.
You don't bring in the gas cost.
Yeah, you didn't
And
put
it's
it in
like-
consideration. You just paid more. And it's only because the credit score was bad. A mythical number that the bank has attached to you, and you got charged more money, even though what that number means is that you didn't have money, and they just charge you more for it. It's a totally backward system. But I understand what they're doing, right? They're trying to pay bills, and they're trying to establish, like, hey, you're showing us that you don't have very good luck with money right now. We're going to charge you extra to make sure that maybe we can sway you out of taking this loan. Maybe that'll be the breaker on you, and you'll be like, you know what, I'm not going to take out that loan. Okay? At 5%, I don't know if I take that loan right now. The loans I take out, about 3%. That's the loans I take out personally. I don't take loans out that are higher than 3%, 3.5. I'm lucky enough I can make that decision, right? I try to keep my stuff up to date so I can trade it in, and I try to get the lowest interest rate as I can. But it's one of those things, like, some people don't have that luxury. They just have to go with what they're given. And so that they might have to go, well, I need the skid loader. My job requires that I have one. Or maybe yours broke down, you can't fix it, or it's totally destroyed.
But then you have to think, if they're using it for work, they get charged them an extra $150 an hour they use it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
then they're technically gaining, they're not really benefit, but they're not gaining, like, they could be gaining a little bit, but then it's like,
Yeah, it's one of those things, you gotta make that decision. This is what your homework's based on today. You have 4 problems in the homework, that's it, it's a worksheet, 4. I'm gonna give you an object, I just picked random objects. There's one was a truck, I think one was a computer, I think one was a refrigerator, just like little items that you'd probably take out a loan for at some point in your life if you needed to. I just kind of picked a random price that was kind of competitive, and then I give you an interest rate and the number of years you're gonna take out the loan. And what I want you to do is calculate how much you're gonna pay total. So remember, you have to take what the price of the item is, times the percent, times the number of years that I tell you, to figure out the total, and then figure out what the monthly payments would be. So divide by the number of years, and divide by 12.
or can you just do like the can you just do the 15,200 or whatever
Ignore that.
times like the 0.03 or 5, whatever, and then, or,
Yeah, I mean, whatever the interest rate is, so maybe I tell you 2%, so you gotta put a 2 here, 0.02.
yeah, and
You
won't
just go
that be
for
your monthly payment then?
No,
Or-
what that is, that just tells you the extra amount of money that you're paying. This is the money the bank is making off of your loan. It's extra on top of the price.
Oh, so then you have to times it by 5 and then
Yep.
divide it back by
Yep.
12?
Yeah, so once you get this price, so once you take your price of the item times the interest rate times the number of years you're going, 5 years, let's say, then whatever the price it tells you, you have to add to the total of what you're borrowing. So that's the total that you're paying. And then you divide by the years and then 12. So I'm leaving that problem up on the board. Okay, questions? Okay, I'm gonna hand out your worksheet. This is due on Wednesday. So you have a couple days to work on 4 problems. I think it's not too bad. I'm gonna put my little mask on and I'll start handing it out. I think I got website backing up and running and up to date, and I'll be posting more videos. I think I posted 5 videos yesterday. I posted Fridays and then all the ones kind of going back. I'm gonna just keep doing that until it's all up to date. I'll keep doing that the next couple days in a row. Homework wise, that page 12, page 15 was due last week. I think it was due last Friday, so make sure you get that turned in. Alex is pretty much one of the only, and I guess Graf is the only one that has kind of excuse they were gone. So they get a couple extra days to work on that, and then this one is the new one. So page 12 and 115.
I got that done.
Oh, you did? Okay.
I think, I hope.
So there you go. Again, if you have questions, don't be afraid to ask. Fire away. And if any of you guys go in quarantine again, or maybe you will go in quarantine in the future, because I know that's kind of a reality right now. Just like Alec, he can attest to this. I try to Zoom every day. I send you a link every morning to see if you're going to tune in live. I post the videos online, and then when there's assignments and stuff, I'll email you. And if there's a test, I'll email you, and we'll Zoom live to take the test. So he can attest everything's done at all. So yeah, so just keep that in mind. I don't leave you hanging. I don't want to keep you out of the loop. So, but yeah, so.
This was from one from last year's snow that we did. That's just one path. That's how bad that one that we had, or that one that was like negative weather, like with freezing
Yeah.
sleet and oh, it was bad.
That was here last year?
Yeah.
That's nuts. Yeah, we're supposed to have a
That was
crazy
January
winter this year.
25th.
Yeah, Yeah, we're supposed to have a massive amount of snow this year.
In January 13th.
Yeah, 'cause I remember sophomore year the storms were really bad, and then last year they weren't that.
No, we hardly had any. I think we had 2, and those are probably
Yeah.
it. This year is supposed to be astronomical numbers for snow. This will be the year to have a snowmobile, I think. If you're,
Maybe social.
yes, you may.
See, he was selling his skid loader. This one, the one with tracks. But then I think he finally decided to keep it because then he can make money off of it. Jake.
Mr. Ward,
Yes.
instead of dividing it, multiplying it by the .0 numbers here.
Yes.
And then adding it, couldn't you just multiply it by 1.0 the numbers here? Because
It would be, I think that would be a little bit different. The reason being, and I know what you're saying, because 1 automatically adds it in. I don't know if it will put in consideration the 5 years. I don't know if it would.
Oh, no, not for the 5 years. Just, well, I mean, if that's the case, then like,
When we have
You
good
could put
times.
something else in there?
Yeah, you could put a 4 or something. Or 5. I wonder if it'd work. Here, let's try it. You have a calculator ready?
I do not.
Alright. Let's see if that'll automatically add it in. 15,000. Okay, because this one worked, right? Times 0.05 times 5. Alright, so let's see. 15,000 times the 1.05 times 5. No. Oh, did I have, maybe I didn't clear it out all the way. 15,000 times point, or 1.05 times 5. No.
What if you multiply 5 by .05 and then do the
0.05
point?
times 5, and then put a 1. So yeah, so if you did that, so if you took these multiplied together and got the 0.25, and then put a 1 in front of it, so 1.25, 0.25, and took it times the 15,000, now you're in business, now it's 18.
Okay.
But again, you have to multiply these two together and then put a 1 in front of it. Yeah, because when I just did the 1, just in the problem, like, I just put the 1.05 and then I put the 5, it was telling me like 78,000.
I mean, for some of them it would work, like the 1 year loan.
I don't know, that's what grab. Oh, this number right here, this? Adam?
Yeah.
Okay, so whatever your total is, right, after you added the interest in, you have to divide by how many years it was,
Okay.
and then the number of months in a year.
Okay.
That's where that number comes from. Yep. This is the number of years, and this is the months in that year. Now, why we do that? Because maybe you're only going to go, 8 months. So I don't know why you'd ever take a loan out for 8 months, but you have to.
Never know, some people do.
Some people wouldn't. Restart my computer. I don't like doing this, but I can't because I gotta upload.
Yeah, Eichmann's keeping it.
Is he?
Mm-hmm. He's like, why would I turn them in for $100 when I could keep it and it means something?
Yeah. Pretty cool. You don't get to see that every day. I don't know, the last person I heard ever got a tang duck.
What?
Well, any kids that I know they got a tang duck. It's pretty cool.
Cause all I know of is geese, dove, and maybe some pheasant.
Yeah.
I know there's ducks tagged around here. Like one we shot over in Goodell, goose and a dove were tagged over by around here, around